1 team, currently sitting at 1-0. We're going to be taking on the currently 0-1 Bath Killer Bees. Last week, Bath lost to the Bristol Barracuda by Stags with a team record 44-0 in the Southwestern one. Then in the white and blue as favourites to take the division. But opposite side of the pitch that would love to completely flip that. Bath last year going to 5-1, whilst the Bournemouth University Bobcats did have a problem in the Exeter Demons. So Bournemouth are now looking to bounce back to divisional winning ways of the park. I believe the Bournemouth Bobcats won the toss and have elected. Maybe slightly cold, but and you can see a plane coming in. They're brought down. Number 9, a big Canadian, all Canadian. If you're the Bath Killer Bees, you've got to be upset with the result to beat Bristol last year as well, drawing with the Barracuda and losing to them as well. That's one thing that Bath are going to be very, very unhappy with. It's yet to beat Barracuda. I don't think that Barracuda, obviously, Alfie Burks, as I'm sure everyone knows and loves, is the QB. Bit of a high snap there, a handoff up. Let's see what they're going to put it. Oh, and it's right on the edge. So referee stopping. See if it is a first down. No, they're just going to give him a little bit of extra yardage. 2nd and 1. Halvick gives it off to Pereira. Now that was a very, very high tackle. Did look onto the helmet. I've got some of the Bournemouth University Bobcats old boys with the Vuvuzelas celebrating the first of Bournemouth University Bobcats first down. I'm going to try and get Bournemouth University Bobcats in there as the Bobcats senior team. Confused, but it is what it is. So all runs so far for Bournemouth. Normal forefront. High snap goes over Alfie's head. Flag on the play. Has got to escape. And that is absolutely great for the Killer Bees. However, there is a play. So we've seen some high snaps already today. Burks has been able to get a handle on them so far, but that one just floating over his head. False start on the Bournemouth Bobcats, University Bobcats. Bath Killer Bees are going to, rightly so, deny that penalty. And the Bournemouth University Bobcats, I'm going to say that's looking like a 2nd, potentially 30. It's a long way to go, but Camberg and another high snap. Burks escapes out of the end zone, and that was a big, big tackle. The 2nd high snap in a row. Well, not the 2nd high snap in a row. It's been all high snap. But that one over his head. Really? Okay. 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 So it's going to be an easy. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I know there's a mic when I turn around, so I'm just going to have to be walking backwards, keep an eye on the play. I think it's a fairly easy. You know, as someone, as I'm sure people get annoyed with me for talking about, as I used to play those snaps in, but Burks managing to get on it and get out of the danger zone. No small squads, which is always good to see. I don't think I've seen a small squad so far. Last year, 2 close games between. What I mean, oh, I'm running through. Get some room and punting the ball today at number 93, Joe White, former Gloucestershire. A bit unhappy as to the situation that they find themselves in here, but that run from BUCS clearing them out of the end zone as White is going to be starting probably about 3. So the Bournemouth Bobcats calling their first timeout of the game to just get that punting situation sorted. For Bournemouth. But it is not, and it goes over the head of Joe White, and that goes out the back of the end zone, and the Bath Killer Bees score without even bringing up bees. The snaps have been a problem. I feel like I may have jinxed them. Do you think I jinxed them on that by talking about the long snapping? No, good, good. I hope not. The run plays that we saw from Bournemouth when they were able to in looked pretty good. Pereira was running it pretty decent. The issue today, and we're barely, this game's in left, and he is taken down. He did not get much on that carry. He did not get much on that carry. So for the first time today, we're going to see the offense of the Killer Bees. So 22 in motion, hand off up the middle. And that is when you are considering who is the running back of the Bath Killer Bees. You know that number 25, he made to tell. Takes Solent Thrashers as well. He's a dangerous threat no matter what team he's on, and he's got a leg as well. 23 in motion, 23 on the orbit, but what a tackle! And number 93, Joe White. I mean, absolutely amazing tackle there behind the sticks. That's going to be looking to me like a 3rd and 13 for the Bath Killer Bees. So motion again, and it's a handoff to Munt. And Munt has got the speed and the agility and to get a first down, but he cannot do it there. I'm going to say play for Munt. It looks like the Killer Bees are going to be faced with a 4th and 5, 4th and 4. So it looks as though the punting unit for the Killer Bees is making their way onto the field. almost blocked there. Big kick from Lewis Money. We do know he does have a leg. And there is Norton, and he just stays on his feet. But 27, Powell of the Killer Bees brings him down. As the Bobcats look to be encroaching. A good starting point. They're going to be starting. I'm going to wait to see where the referee's line. I think that blue line's putting me off slightly. On their own 43, I'm going to say. So almost there. So it's going to be a case of watching for the snap-in, ladies and gentlemen. So BUCS still in the shotgun. Moving some personnel around. Better snap this time. BUCS is going to take it himself, or tries for the hurdle, but a good gain of, I'm going to say, about 7 or 8 for the former MVP of the All-Star game. Spent some time with the Bristol Aztecs in the off-season. I feel like you're going to be hearing that a lot. So the Bobcats now on the Bath side of the field by, I'm going to say, 1.5. How about that? So 2 on the left-hand side. BUCS pumps, and he's throwing it long. He's looking, and he just overshoots. Alfie Tizard-Adams is who BUCS wanted to bring that ball in. But BUCS just overshooting it there. But let's be honest, the snaps are better. That's realistically what the problem was in that first drive. They seem to have fixed it. That may sound like a slight jinx, but hey, got to bear with it. Not a surprise went for it. 3rd and 1 for Bournemouth. Low snap, tosses it out. And that is enough for a first down, a good cut. And he just keeps dragging. Salam, number 13, the running back. Again, I'm trying not to jinx them in terms of the snaps. A low one there. But when you have plays like that with a running back in motion, especially a toss play like that, it's not really, it doesn't throw it off too badly. Because the one thing they'll do is mess up the timing with these low snaps. BUCS under centre this time, and it's another handoff. And Salam is running and just tripped up there, but that is a power runner right there. And just like that, another first down for Bournemouth. When you have a quarterback like Alfie BUCS, it's fairly easy to say that they can rely on the throw, but Bournemouth get some good running backs in there again. Under centre for BUCS. And it's a handoff to Salam again, runs up through the middle, but the Killer Bees figuring it out this time. But a gain on the play regardless, and that's a good gain. Oh, I didn't think he got 5 on that, but he did there. Chain crew Mike, get this, on chain crew. So you know it's legit. You know that it's legit. So 2nd and 5 for Bournemouth. Looks like they're on the 19-yard line of Bath. But again, under centre for BUCS. It's another handoff. Punched up the middle, but just managing to drag some killer bees along with him. It's going to be close, I can tell you that. So a gain of 3 on that play. Third and 2 for Bournemouth. Sends some people out wide. Back into the shotgun is BUCS. And he just throws it out wide to his right and running back inside. And it looks to me like the referees are going to be calling that for a first down for the Bobcats. So not by much there, but Bournemouth have got a first down. Wow, I can't believe that. That seems to be the end of the quarter. You know, even after playing in university American football for so many years, too many years in fact, I am always surprised just how fast these go. Fast these quarters go, but a lot of run plays. Score still 2-0 to the Bees. Still 2-0 to the Killer Bees. But the Bobcats closing the gap the Bath Killer Bees. Ladies and gentlemen, tell us where you are watching from on this frightfully cold Friday night. You know, we don't get to Friday night games, so it's always nice to be doing Friday nights. It's a strange weekend for Uni Ball in the sense we've got a game on Saturday for Birmingham versus Cardiff 2, and then obviously the slates on Sundays. So BUCS going back under centre. Islam with the black helmets, who you've got to look out for. But BUCS is going to take it and looking for the back of the end zone. What a grab that was! I'm going to wait for a referee signal. I hear a fair few whistles, and I don't see a referee with his hands in the air. And a flag on the play I can barely spot. The Killer Bees celebrating at the very least. BUCS to Tizar Adams. Great ball. So the Bobcats are going to be heading backwards. And it looks as though Coach Steve Rains has just drawn a flag as well. So we all know that Coach Steve Rains of the Bournemouth University Bobcats, that's a passionate man at the best of times. And it seems to be that the sideline official is throwing a flag at him. Seems as though that Coach Rains was unhappy with the timing of when that flag was thrown. I believe it was a DPI penalty. That pushed the Bournemouth Bobcats back. So they're waving off the flag for Coach Rains, it looks like. Bobcats are starting. Ooh. First and 25. BUCS still under centre, with 2 in the backfield. Hands it off to Salam again, and Salam is running again. It's so impressive to watch because that's a big man. Just hit that turn of speed. He's going to make up some of those yardage, or some of that yardage. Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying out the other mic. Oh, and they might score a touchdown here. I'm actually not going to run and go back. Okay, so it's going to be a toss to Salam. Oh, I thought he got tackled right there, but didn't manage to gain any extra yardage out of that. But again, trusting the running back. Because, I mean, you can do when you've got a quarterback like BUCS to be able to be on the money for it. So I'm going to quickly go and sort out some tech stuff. Okay. Sorry, Steve. So Alfie's looking, he just throws it up. Oh, and almost intercepted by Bath, but knocks it away. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just give us 1 second. So penalty proving disastrous for... Oh, DPI, I believe. Defensive pass interference. Yes. Me if you want.
Hi guys, Eva Harris here. I love the Bobcats. Woohoo!
So the field goal unit for the Bobcats has come on, but Bournemouth's now having to use their second timeout of the half due to personnel not being on the field. I think that referee may have said it's the third and final timeout for Bournemouth. Potentially, I would certainly go and ask someone. Then I'm going to look and see here. I imagine that that timeout was used when they were discussing Coach Rains's flag with Coach Rains, because that did take up some time. That makes sense to me. So Bournemouth now without any timeouts. Joe White, number 93, their kicker. I tell you what, he has got a great leg. But I will say he didn't do any field goals when he was part of the Gloucestershire Gladiators. I will say that as well. But let's see if he's got the power to take the lead in this game. Again, snapping has been a problem. That's not a jinx, I promise you. Oh, and they are just unable to get it off. And the Bath Killer Bees sideline goes electric because they maintain the 2-0 lead. And I will say, and I don't mean if this is maybe offensive to any Bath Killer Bees, but it seems as though it's Bournemouth stepping on their own toes here. Flag on the play. So I'm going to try and get close to... I'm not seeing... My apologies, Steve's not... So if I turn around, is it all right? Okay, well, I'm just going to keep walking this way. So number 14 for the Bobcats, I believe that's Tizard Adams, I'm going to move out of the way of the offensive huddle. Getting another penalty here. These penalties are absolutely killing the Bobcats. Sorry, I'm so not used to like OPI. I'm so used to DPI. You're absolutely right. OPI. So the Bath Killer Bees block the field goal and get some extra yards tacked on. So they're going to be starting about the halfway point of the field. But just swallowed up there, still on his feet. But brought down. Sorry, I'm too excited. I don't get to call OPI very much. And I didn't. That's what's mad. I didn't call it. Because that's how excited I am. So gain of 1.5, I'm going to say on that play for the team in the blue and yellow. Doesn't matter. Great font for the Killer Bees. So it's a handoff up the middle to Munt. And, I mean, considering the ability of Lewis Munt, the continual stopping of him is quite impressive from Bournemouth. Though, again, I think I said this when I was doing the Aztecs streams. Whenever you see Lewis Munt on the field, you put your anytime scorer Betteruni. I'd put one on. If I could bet on this, I would. Every single game for Lewis Munt. 3rd and 6 for Bath. Feney's got it, launches out to his right, and it's picked off, and that is going. There is open field. A touchdown, Bournemouth. And a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. Could this be another Bournemouth touchdown off the books? It's looking that way. And a second touchdown for the Bournemouth University Bobcats is wiped off of the board. And for roughing the passer, also Steve's got an elevated platform so he can see. 15 yards and a first down for Bath to even add insult to injury to the Bournemouth University Bobcats. They don't get that touchdown and they're going to be giving the Killer Bees a first down inside of their territory. Looks like the 36-yard line. They tried for the reverse. Let's have a look to see who's got this. The Bournemouth Bobcats are saying it's them. The Killer Bees tried for the reverse, but it just seemed as though number 8 for the Bees just couldn't quite find that second runner to hand it off, flipped it up, but the second runner was not expecting it. George Muter, if you're Bournemouth, you've got to be happy with that. You've had and pick 6 wiped off the board due to a flag. But a bit of a miscommunication there from the Killer Bees is going to be resulting in a Bournemouth ball. Looking to me to be, I'm going to say, on the 47-yard line of the Killer Bees. Flipping some people on the line, sending a man in motion, a tight end in motion. And Salama's got it, and he spin move there. And he's going to be right on the border of a first down. Yeah, it looks to me like it's going to be a second and potentially inch, second and 1. Not quite a second and inch situation. Will we see any Warwick special plays out of Bournemouth? That is the question. Probably not. It's 3rd and 1 for Bournemouth. See, it's going to Salam again. And he's just fighting through. Even when he's running sideways, he's still gaining enough yards. Going to be enough for a first down. I feel like every time there's a positive play, I've got to scan the field for yellow flags. First down for Bournemouth. Looks like they're going to be on the 31-yard line of the Killer Bees. I'm going to walk up here so I can see. So under centre for BUCS. And he's going to take himself. No, he's going to flip it out. Salam able to find that though. BUCS tried for the pitch, but unable to connect. Because that horizontal running from BUCS is going to be a loss, but it obviously could have been a lot worse. So, 2nd and 12, only 2 yards lost on that miscommunication. We have seen both teams miscommunicate. Back to the shotgun. So he's going to toss it out to Salam. Salam has got some space and some speed. It's so strange. The way that Salam runs, it's almost like he's falling forward to gain those yards. But again, he's a big body. So even if you're falling forward, you're gaining those yards. In fact, I think that was more yards than I thought he got. So that is going to end up with a 3rd and 2 for the Bobcats. Again, relying very heavily on the run here, but you know, with someone like BUCS at QB, it could just be setting these traps. As basically, that is the game of American football, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know. So under centre again for BUCS. Hand off to Salam, and again, just being able to break through. It feels bad to say, like, but it is just like a sort of a hot knife through butter. He's able to penetrate that first line. The defensive line just cannot seem to stop him, and it's going to be enough for a fresh set of downs for the Bobcats. Number 69 is coming out. They're going to be starting on, I think that is I'm going to say the 15 or the 14. So under centre again for Alfie BUCS, and he throws that toss out to Slum. He's looking around the outside and just goes through, basically untouched until 27 found him in the end zone. Touchdown, Bournemouth. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a quick sweep. There's no yellow flags on the field. 6-2 is currently the score for the Bournemouth University Bobcats. You know, Slum has definitely been the key player for Bournemouth today. Been the man who's received the ball the most, as we're going to see. Oh, we're going for 2 here. Didn't quite spot that. But whistles in. Looks to be a timeout for the Killer Bees. Gonna look over, I was looking over to see if that was, but yeah, it's going to be a timeout for Bath. So Bournemouth have none remaining. Bath have got 2. The number 13 for Bournemouth, you've got to say that he is who Reigns is trusting. But just impressive. I'm gonna wait for this kick and I'm gonna walk over. Obviously, I'm not gonna try and talk to them. Not like do like XFL interviews where they do it during the game. But Slum just seems so tall when I'm watching the game. I don't know actually how tall he is. So sending a man in motion. Low snap. Burke is going to try and punch it in. He's still on his feet. And that is no good. The score remains 6-2. And a good defensive stop there for the Killer Bees. The Killer Bees, before they came back up, winning the Division 2 Southern, beating Reading in the finals. So we do have a Killer Bee down. I'm always surprised when the medics run onto the field, because I remember being told that the medics weren't allowed to run onto the field. I've definitely heard that the medics, they're not allowed to run, because in case the medic falls over and hurts himself, which is why when people were like, why is the medic just walking? That's why. But that medic just ran onto the field, so I don't know if that's true. Where's number 13? I imagine he's probably on kick return. Yeah, he probably is. You could really annoy Coach Rains and go and ask for an interview right now. Hey, Coach, what was going on? Coach, what was going on with that snapping in the first quarter? He would definitely right hook me if I did that. And ladies and gentlemen, this weekend, I was going to do a plug. Huh? So this weekend, we're going to be doing SGS versus Exeter on Sunday, as well as Southampton versus Bristol as well. So if you're a fan of the Southwest one, you know, pay attention here, and then you also get SGS versus Exeter as well. So Exeter, obviously these two teams know Exeter fairly well. Exeter winning that division, this division last year. Bournemouth, winning it the year before, but losing to the Portsmouth Destroyers as the Destroyers make their way up into the Prem. Also Cardiff versus Birmingham tomorrow. We're not doing that, but it does exist. Good ball from White, and that goes out of bounds. If I know Joe White, he's going to be very, very unhappy about that. He's going to be giving the Killer Bees a fair chunk of yardage, starting at the 40 now. But I imagine there's going to be a fair number of comments by the coaching staff come Monday, or when they next have training, in regards to the amount of flags that we've seen from the Bobcats today. Damaging, absolutely damaging. But they do currently have the lead, 6-2 to the Bobcats. So 35-yard line, sorry, I'm thinking to NFL. It's OPI, not DPI. God, 35-yard line. So just get ready to sort the chains out. So Munt in the backfield. 23 in motion, 22 in motion. Handoff to Lewis Munt, tries to evade, but stopping me. Munt maybe fell for a yard there, but Munt did try to cut back to the left after the initial tackle was made, but he was unable to gain the power, and he is a powerful man. Unable to gain anything there. That's not the 2-minute warning, is it? No, surely not. That was the 2-minute warning, was it? Yeah, that was the 1:55. What? This game's going so quick. I can't believe it's a lot of running. You know, Salam and Munt, two good running backs. It's a run-heavy game. 22 in motion for Bath again. And a bit of miscommunication there, but Lewis Munt is going to try and get some yardage there. The QB for Bath turning the wrong way. Could be a counter, but I just felt through his body language that it wasn't. He seemed a bit worried. And it's normally the job of the running back to then take the handoff. Let's say it's a counter right. Take the handoff going towards the left and then cut back right. It's not normally the job of the QB to swap sides in giving them the ball. So gain of 1. 3rd and 8 But even if the Bobcats get this ball back, they've got no timeouts. None. Had to burn them all due to personnel issues. And then I believe the refs were thinking of flagging Coach Rains, but I think they burn a timeout instead. Bath are looking, throws it out wide, but just 33 for the Killer Bees. Just cannot come away with it. 4th down for the Bees, the Killer Bees. Daniel Asbury, the target. Fennew, the QB for the Killer Bees. He's definitely got the power to get the ball in space, but just unable to find Asbury. Bringing up Lewis Munt. And this is the thing, when you've got Lewis Munt as your punter, fake punt alert. So flag on the play. So I'm going to tune into a white hat official. So, like 50 Cent, too many men. Too many men, and the Killer Bees are going to be going backwards. You like that one, Steve? Too many men. Too many men, too many men. This is it. So back to what I was saying. So when you've got Lewis Munt as your punter, you need to be on fake punt alert from the off. Even if it's a 3rd and short or if you're punting on 3rd and short, there's a problem there. If it's 4th and short or 4th and long, I'd still be very, very, very worried about. I'd be worried about any point that the ball ends up in Lewis Munt's hands, even if it's by accident. So if Bournemouth want to put some more points on the board, they're going to have to be playing some smart football because no timeouts remain for the Bobcats. Now, normally I'd do a score review of half-time, but it's Friday Night Lights, and so there's no scores. So I'll just keep plugging our games. So again, I'm going to be expecting some bombs from BUCS. Alfie Burke. Huh? I did say that. I didn't say it the first time, I said it the second time. So I'm going to be going back to the shotgun formation. Bit of a low snap, finding it though. Burke's throwing, trying to find Tizard Adams, but just overshooting him there. I'm sure the Bobcats had a great time watching the Southwest one last week. Surprising results, Southampton beating Swansea by 7 and Bristol beating Bath by 6. Can't really make heads or tails of it, especially because Bournemouth beat Southampton 44-0. 2nd and 10 for Bournemouth. So Burks is going to be rolling out, just unable. I feel like you need to get Alfie warmed up a bit. Hayden Pope, the target, but once again, Alfie Burke's just unable to find his target, overshooting him. 3rd and 10. And now it's a problem because they're in the territory of giving the Killer Bees back the ball. And Salama's got it, the toss outside from him. They're just going to be trying to run the clock out here. They don't want the Killer Bees to have this ball back. I'm sure the Bournemouth Bobcats defence were like, we're not going back on the field. So 4th and 1, Bournemouth are going with some speed, and Burks is looking. I honestly don't know who that was to, which is a strange one to say when Alfie Burks is the QB. Flag on the play. Over by Tizard Adams, who was the receiver that I imagine that BUCS was looking for. This could be very, very interesting. This is on the Killer Bees. They may have cost themselves possession. We're going to have a wait while the referees gather to discuss what exactly... Oh, not good. Not the space to be giving away things like that. Unsportsmanlike penalty on the Killer Bees. The Killer Bees are probably not going to be having another chance to touch this ball in the first half of play. Oh no. Sorry, it was after the play was over. Sorry, after the play was over. Sorry, I got excited. So the Killer Bees are going to be getting the ball back, but they're going to be taking a 15-yard penalty to do so. So the chains are on the move. So 22 in motion again for the Killer Bees. Rolling out to his right. Motion for someone to get open, but he's being pursued. Now, has he got out of bounds? That is the question. Look, we might not be able to know. But I don't think there's any loss on that play. A loss of one, so 2nd and 11. Looking, able to find Munt. And just all converging on number 25 of the Killer Bees. Lewis Munt was at the Solent Thrashers for a time when Coach Steve Rains was the head coach of the Solent Thrashers. So I'm fairly certain that Coach Rains knows when 25 for the Killer Bees gets that ball, get all your players to, sounds, sort of cliche because they're playing the Killer Bees, but swarm him. They've managed to do a pretty good job of that. Impressed with Bournemouth so far. Managed to sort out those snaps, which were plaguing the Bobcats at the start of the game, in fact costing them 2 points as well, but they've managed to sort of get it under, well actually no, not even 2 points, 5 points, because they were unable to get a field goal as well, but I think that was more due to the handling, so we're going to stick with 2. Pockets collapsing, managing to find some space, able to find a man, and the Killer Bees are going to have a first down, but so the clock will stop as it's a first down to sort the chains, but not enough. So that is going to be the first half of this game. 6-2 the score to the Bobcats. The Bobcats having 2 touchdowns cleared from the books due to penalties and some bad snaps. Giving a safety to the Killer Bees. Salem number 13 for the Bournemouth University Bobcats has been phenomenal. Being able to just punch through that initial D line and basically fall forward and keep getting those yards. Not seen much out of Alfie BUCS yet. He's overthrown the ball pretty numerous amount of times, but I will say the defense of the Bournemouth University Bobcats has been most impressive considering who number 25 is on the Bath Killer Bees. Lewis Munt has had some good plays, but you'd expect him to have a little bit more. But as the Bobcats have managed to fix those snapping problems, knock on wood if you're a Bournemouth University Bobcats fan, it's just going to be trying to elevate this score. Again, their first game against Southampton, 44-0. But as much as it seems like one of the things you can infer from this Southampton versus, or the Bristol versus Bath score is, oh, Bristol beat Bath. So that game was decided late into the fourth. So Bath and Bristol had kept the game tight going into the fourth quarter. And it seems as though the defence of Bath, they're basically doing it again this week, but the run has been a problem for Bath. 6-2 the score here for Friday Night Lights at Bournemouth versus Bath. We'll be with you in 10 minutes or so, I imagine, for half-time. 6-2 is the score. That's led to a safety. And then the Bobcats had 2 touchdowns wiped off the board due to penalties. Decent return there from Bath. The star of the show for the Killer Bees, Lewis Munt. You have to say that the Bobcats have had a very, very good day defensively. But you can even say that Alfie Burks, star QB for Bournemouth, had a fair few overthrows as well. One to look out for in this half is number 13, Salem of the Bournemouth University Bobcats, as he's been digging out most of the yardage, and also flags for the Bobcats. Almost 100 yards in penalties, 22 in motion, handoff to 22. Stopping him after only a yard. We've seen 22 in motion for the majority of these Killer Bees plays. So gain of 2 on that play. You know, I think I said on the run, I didn't expect this game to be close, and it is. Bath not doing too much on offense, 22 in motion again. I might have stopped saying it. Giving it 22, so they fumbled this reverse last time. They got it this time, but Bournemouth having absolutely none of it. In fact, a loss of 1 on the play for the Killer Bees. I believe it's the old boys of the Bournemouth University Bobcats bringing out the Vuvuzelas. Why couldn't we have let the Vuvuzelas die in South Africa? To be fair, if I wasn't commentating, I'd get a Vuvuzela. I can't ever use Vuvuzelas. So, 22 in motion again. Looking for a throw this time. QB's going to scramble out, but a big sack on the play. Number 99 for the Bobcats. Archie Kennett with a huge stop there. Bournemouth coming out pretty impressively defensively in this second half, forcing the Bath Killer Bees back to what looks to me to be a 4th and 14. And again, it's whenever, just Lewis Munt as a punter worries me because he's got the speed and agility to turn it up, but 14 yards, would Bath chance it? I don't know. Munt has got it, and that ball is away. So number 9 for the Bobcats has got it. He's going to be returning it right. He is going, big turn of speed. And a flag on the play pops out at the end. Another one. I feel like DJ Khaled. Again, the Bobcats plagued by flags in the first half. So I'm trying to see this is on. They're trying to move the chains. I'm waiting for the chains to move. Block on the back on who? For who? So block in the back for the Bobcats. Another flag. You're not going to be... Again, I imagine that the film sessions for the Bobcats may be quite jarring. So starting on their own, I'm going to say 42-yard line. Sending the man in motion are the Bobcats. And the Killer Bees stop him, potentially even for a loss of 1. Ralph O'Hara, the linebacker, getting there first, and it is going to be a loss of 1 on the play for the Bobcats. Now, we're very, very early into the British University American football season, but these wins are pivotal. Bath trying to gain some momentum back from their loss against Bristol last week. Bournemouth trying to capitalise on their 44-0 victory over Southampton. So a timeout called by the Bobcats. If you were here for the first half, you knew that they had to burn 2 of them due to personnel and people not being where they were supposed to be, and another one as the referees were discussing giving head coach Steve Rains a flag. Coach Steve Rains anyway. So 2nd and 11 for the Bobcats. Got a man in motion again at number 88. BUCS is looking. He's looking for his receiver and almost intercepted. Aluko for the Killer Bees was right there. And if it wasn't for Javel Roberts of the Bobcats, this would be Killer Bees football, 3rd and 11 for the Bournemouth University Bobcats. No motion, low snap. BUCS has got it. He's going to try and dial it up, and a good reception. Good throw, good reception. We have seen BUCS overthrow a fair few times today. Not on that occasion. Kieran Lees getting a first down. I'm going to say potentially a gain of 13 on the play for Bournemouth. So it's the first of our 3 games this weekend. On Sunday, we'll be doing Southampton versus Bristol and Exeter versus SGS. So if you're a South S1 fan, you'll be happy. Looks like a bunch trips formation for the Bournemouth Bobcats on the left-hand side. Alfie drops back, deals it out to his left-hand side, but 52 of the Killer Bees was right there. Aluko once again making a big play for the blue and yellow. That's going to be a loss of 3 on the play for the Bournemouth. No, it's not. No, it's not. What am I talking about? It's not a loss. I was looking in the wrong place. 2nd, and I'm going to say 7 for the Bobcats. Trips on the left-hand side for Bournemouth, sending number 3 in motion, getting him a little bit closer to the line. Alfie BUCS is going to take himself. Salem out to block. Gets around one defender. And we know that Alfie BUCS, he's got the arm where needs bees. He's got the legs as well. Enough for another first down for the Bournemouth University Bobcats. Could very well be, with the first half, a lot of running from the man in the backfield, Salem, number 13. Setting up these big passes. Bunch trips on the right for Bournemouth. And BUCS once again dealing it. And another big reception. And the momentum is fully on the side of the Bobcats. So 2nd and 7. Trips right for them. Alfie drops back, looking for the end zone. and just unable to find. Hayden Pope was the target for a picturesque ball, but just unable to find him. Third down. I'm going to say 3, maybe 3.5, so 4. Tell you what, it's a good crowd out today in Bournemouth, considering it's a cold Friday night. So bunch trips to the left, on the left-hand side anyway. BUCS has got it, drops back, just a quick deal out, but the ball hitting the turf. 4th down for the Bobcats. Well, considering I see no movement on the sideline of Bournemouth, I'm just going to assume that they're not going to be bringing on the field goal unit. We did see them struggle in the first half with the ball. So it's a bit all or nothing for Bournemouth here. So BUCS is looking for a big ball, but just over the head of Pope. And the Killer Bees are going to be getting a turnover on downs. But I'll tell you what, good offensive drive from Bournemouth. You know, BUCS, apart from that last throw, seems to have found his range. But the Killer Bees not being able to do much offensively today. Will it change on this drive? Very much still in it. So just stopped in the backfield there. Some of the Bobcats are applauding and some of the old boys for the use of the Vuvuzela, but Kennett again there disrupting the play, number 99. Sean Patel, I don't know what role he has on the team, but he's doing a great job of it. Looking out to the right-hand side, but swarmed out, ball is out. And I think that's Bobcats football. Bath were looking for that receiver who was in motion and cut back inside. You can see Lewis Munn walking off the pitch. He looks very annoyed, and that's Bobcats football. Charles Fanai, the QB for the Killer Bees. It seems as though he was looking for that outside route, but just hesitated to throw it. And that was enough for the Bobcats to get the sack and the strip. And the Bobcats are going to be taken over on the 22-yard line of the Killer Bees. So Burke's going to be rolling out. He's being pursued. What a big tackle that was. That Killer Bee, he was looking for the old peanut punch, but he just couldn't find it. But the pursuit was fantastic. And that is going to be a huge loss on the play for the Bobcats. They're going to be looking at, for my taste, potentially a second and... I'm going to say a second and 19. So a man in motion for the Bobcats. And they're just going to hand it off. Oh, no, sorry. Thought it was a bit of a trim on, but Alfie BUCS got it, tried to get some space, but he was unable. to get anything, even with the help of his running backs just pushing him up the middle. So the Killer Bees, with that 3 front, allowing one more person to populate the backfield. So BUCS is looking for a ball. And a quick one to Pope. And Pope has got the speed. He's running around the outside, and Pope is going. And he's going to have a first down, getting out at the 10-yard line. And turning what looked to be a disastrous turn of events after the turnover. Lots of turns in that sentence, but we got it done into a scoring opportunity as the Bobcats find themselves on the Killer Bees 11-yard line. So bunch trips to the right-hand side. And a great snap, giving it to Salem. Whoa, what a tackle! And Salem has been running roughshod all night on these Killer Bees. But just being able to stop him there, Ralph O'Hara, the linebacker, is going to bring Salem back for a loss of 2. And once again, the Bobcats find themselves behind the sticks. So bunch trips to the left-hand side. And throws it out to Pope on his left-hand side. By 52 and 27 of the Killer Bees able to bring him down. But it's going to be pretty decent. I want to say that's going to be a gain of, oh, it keeps getting larger and larger. Let's see where Mike's going to put it. Chain crew Mike, always the professional. That's going to be a gain of 7 on the play for the Bobcats. Third and 6 for Bournemouth. Let's see what they're going to be able to cook up here. And pump fake from BUCS, and he just completely airs it over the head of Tizard Adams. So as we can see, number 93, Joe White, the kicker, is coming out onto the field. And the Bobcats seem as though they're going to be trying for 3. Last time the Bobcats tried for the field goal. A little bit of miscommunication with the handling from the holder. And then I believe it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty from Bath. Put the Killer Bees in good field position. So Coach Raines seems to be unhappy with something, and he's going to be calling a timeout. And once again, it seems, the Bournemouth University Bobcats have had to burn a timeout due to personnel. So Miles Owen Thursfield in to hold. Joe White in to kick. Looks to be about a 19 or more than that, maybe 20, 24, 25 yard attempt here from White and the Bobcats. So it's whistled in. And it's up. And it is good. And Joe White puts 3 points on the board for the Bobcats. And pretty impressively, not only did he manage to clear the bar, he also managed to clear the fence behind. Someone's going to have a very, very hard time trying to find that football. And it seems to me that that is going to be the end of Q3. with the Bobcats extending their lead. I'm literally just trying to get out of the way of all of the Bobcats. So I would say so Steve told me that I was asked the question, how high do I rate Alfie BUCS? Fairly highly in terms of university American football QBs. Just because he's been with the same system for, a pretty long time. Like, he was here when the Bobcats were in D2. He was here when the Bobcats went to the Southern final of Div 1. He was here last year. They thought he was going to leave last year. So the ball is away. I'll get back to that point. A good reception, but there's a swarm of white jerseys. And he still stays on his feet. And this is turned into a great run for the Killer Bees. I thought that was going to be stopping at about the 24-yard line. Oh, I've just kicked someone's water bottle. So in terms of Alfie, it's sort of rare to see someone come in their first year, be a QB, the QB1, and then the team gets promoted, and then he then goes off and wins. Then he wins MVP of the All-Stars, and he plays senior ball for Aztecs. Aztecs are a very good team, as everyone knows. But then also staying with the same system, staying with the same head coach, I think it gives Alfie BUCS a huge advantage over other quarterbacks. So it's going to be a run from Munt, and was it? I'm not sure if it was. Sorry, I was too busy in my own point. It was a run from Lewis Munt. Again, I think the most impressive thing for me here today is how the Bobcats have managed to stop number 25 of Bath. We're going to get back into the game. I'm going to stop talking about it, but I think that's a pretty salient point. You don't normally see a quarterback come in, start his first year, and keep it going. It's his fourth year. It's impressive. So Munt has got it. He's running out to his left-hand side. He's making people miss. But swarm there, number 55 of the Bobcats. Louis Davies getting Munt to the ground, but pretty good run from Munt considering what we have seen already today. 3rd and 4. So only a 7-point game. So tackle for loss, absolutely swarmed in the backfield. Basically when Bath needed it the most, they're heading backwards. I wonder what that thing was in the sky, and it scared me for a little second there, but it's a plane. I wonder if these people looking outside of that plane are thinking, they're like, oh, that's a football game going on, that's pretty mad. So, 4th and I'm going to say 7 for the Killer Bees. Lewis Munt back to punt. He grabs it out of the air. Flags are flying. I imagine this is going to be on the Killer Bees. Yeah, false start on the Killer Bees. So the game is still very close, 9-2 for the Bobcats. But what could have been a fake punt situation now, Munt has got it. Oh, and it is blocked by Bournemouth. And once again, the Bobcats are going to be coming away with some terrific field position. I don't know why everyone's pointing like it's going to be their ball, like it's a turnover. It's a turnover on downs. Even if Bath recover it there, it's still going to be Bournemouth's football. I appreciate their enthusiasm, but you're getting the ball back in good field position, whether you dive on it or whether Bath dives on it. So, love the enthusiasm. But a good block there. It's been threatened a few times, but the Bobcats are once again going to be having great field position. Blocked punt this time. Strip sack last time. The Bobcats taking over on the Killer Bees 34-yard line. .14 in motion, that's Tizard Adams on the left-hand side. QB taking it himself. It's a new QB in as well. BUCS has stood right there. Joe Haylock there with the run. Looks as though he's still in at QB. It's good that Bournemouth have got a cavalcade of QBs. We knew there was a bit of a problem last year when Alfie went out. I think they had to start a DB at QB. So it's going to be a handoff to number 7. Going to be enough for a first down for the Bobcats. Pereira, number 7, getting that first down. He was utilised fairly effectively in fact, the first drive of this game. We haven't seen much of him since. Has been in mainly blocking. But Pereira managing to get the first down for the Bobcats. They're going to be on the Killer Bees 21. So Haylock looks out. Manages to find, I believe that's Pope on the outside. And Pope is just cutting and weaving and spinning. And he's running to the other side of the field. There's space. The whole Bath defence is trying. He goes for a stiff arm. He gets it. And he is brought out of bounds. And we do have a Killer Bee down. Hayden Pope managing to avoid contact on the left-hand side, completely flipped the side of the field, having to get the Killer Bees defense to flow over with him. It's impressive you see a spin like a juke and a stiff arm in one play, so that's certainly impressive. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this is the first of Sport Tank's trio of Uni Ball games that we are doing this weekend. Obviously starting out here in Bournemouth. Then on Sunday, splitting it off, I will be going to Exeter to cover the Premiership South as the Exeter Demons try to drag the SGS Pride hellbound. Then Steve will be heading to Southampton as we go back, as we have done for the last few years, for Southampton versus Bristol. Southampton versus Bristol. A landmark event for Sport Tank, the first ever game that we live streamed, and we're happy to do it as long as they're in the same division. It's like doing a nice historical, little bit of retrospective. In fact, as much as I'm excited to be going to Exeter to do Exeter versus the SGS Pride, there is quite a large part of me that does wish that I was going to Southampton to do Southampton versus Bristol. Back when I had blonde hair and hopes and dreams in my eyes. Which, to be fair, it started out there and then, you know, went to obviously going to the ELF. What would have happened if I didn't start in Southampton? So those are the games we're doing. And then next week, so the killer bee in question is being helped to his sideline. Then next week we've got a game. Oh, let me tell you about this game. While they're sorting everything, let me tell you about this game. I'm so excited to do this game. For the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, the Brunel Burners are going to be live streamed. First time in club history that the Brunel Burners are going to be live streamed. And we have got a titanic Southern One clash as the Brunel Burners, not Bournemouth, the Brunel Burners face off with the Oxford Lancers. I can't wait for that game. Absolutely cannot wait. I'm telling you, it's still a while away. It's a month away. UClan versus Northumbria. Ha ha ha. Get to do that game. Amazing. So, Tizard Adams moving up to the left-hand side. Sort of a big false start there. Lots of pointing. I love Uni Ball. Point. Everybody point. That's how it gets done. That's how you win penalties, by pointing. Remember there was... but it worked. Pointing at the defence. Offside with contact. And the Bobcats net themselves 5 yards. But they also net themselves a very, very important first down, as they're going to be now starting their drive from the Killer Bees 12-yard line. So Haylock is looking, unable to find anyone. I'm going to try and get a better viewpoint because there's just Bobcats in my way and I can't see what's going on. If they score a touchdown, it'll be like time delay. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Bobcats. Go away, Magenta. I'm trying to commentate. Magenta, I'm trying to commentate. Leave me alone. So, going to be a handoff up the middle. And Salem has found the end zone. I'm just going to check for flags. Check for flags. There are no flags. There are no flags. Thank God, I tell you what. That touchdown has been coming. It feels all game long. He has been spectacular. Not used too much in this second half. Has Salem number 13 for the Bournemouth University Bobcats. But I tell you what, if there's one man who deserves to have a TD on his stat book on the day, it is number 13 for the Bobcats. So, BUCS now in at QB for the 2-point attempt. Pereira on the move. BUCS going to try and find the end zone, and he certainly does. That's the same 2-point play that they tried earlier in the game, but were unable to complete it. I certainly do appreciate that Haylock has got himself one of those big QB jackets, which I find quite funny. I just thought he was a coach, but no, he's not. That's quite good. Well, I was a bit worried because I thought his jersey says Red Jacket on it, and that's a strong surname, Red Jacket. But it's still not out of the realm of possibility for the Killer Bees to come back here. But given how much they have struggled on offense, yeah, anything can happen. Any given Friday? Oh, it's a Rhine Fire scarf from the European League of Football. I've got two. Oh, the ball's away. Let's stop talking about my scarf. Good return there. Trying to go through the middle of the field. This is going to be a great return for the Killer Bees. And that's going to be... Oh, I thought it was a flag. That's going to be about the 46. Yeah, no, I got this scarf when I went to the ELF final. Because it's a really weird story. Years and years ago, I bought myself a Rhine Fire scarf from when they were in NFL Europe because I thought it was cool off eBay. And then I commentated a Rhine Fire game and I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. So when I was out in Germany, I bought myself another one to go with my old one because I thought it was fun. Leave me alone for my scarf choices. So Bournemouth starting on their side of the field. So it's a new QB in. Let me try and find the name of this new QB in for the blue and gold. So Harry Britton now in at QB. But interesting that we've seen both teams swap out the quarterbacks slightly. But a run from Britton there does net 3 yards for the Killer Bees. 22 in motion again. It just keeps being in motion. And Munter's got it. Oh, and he's being pursued out wide. And he tried to absolutely smash through number 5 of the Bobcats. But again, it seems like there's just something slightly off with this Killer Bees handoff. And it's getting to a point where not even a running back the caliber of Lewis Monk can really do much with it. Because he was flushed out to his left and it gave a sea of white jerseys enough time to come through and make the tackle. But it's going to be a big loss. It's going to be a loss of 7. Looking like a 3rd and 14 for the Bath Killer Bees. So Britton is looking, and that ball does not look pretty coming out. It did look like Britton was about to load up and shoot for the stars, but he was unable to find anyone. That ball coming out slightly wobbly. Potentially due to the pressure, because I'll tell you what, there's no wind. Windless here. Bit strange. I'll put it like this, the people who are getting flights from old Bournemouth Airport across the way, it's nice and gentle, no turbulence. So, 4th and 14 for Bournemouth. Munt has got it, last one was blocked, and that's a great ball, very, very high. And taking it round to the left-hand side. And a decent return. Let's see. "43-yard line? Let's go with that. So 17-2, the score. The Bobcats are not managing to put any points on the board because technically the Bobcats put the 2 points on Bournemouth. It depends how you want to look at things. That's how I'd look at it, anyway. But definitely a lot closer than one would have thought. And the ball is dribbling across the floor. But Haylock managing to find some space, but a flag does come in. And if you're a Bournemouth University Bobcat fan, you've got to be thinking, we don't need those snaps back. In fact, I'm going to, well, there's a Bath Killer Bee down. when the Bournemouth offence takes the field again, I'm going to look at the centre and I'm going to pick on him and say, hey, stop that snapping. Stop snapping like that. But definitely a lot closer of a game than we would have expected given the scores from last week. You know, got to be impressed with the defence of the Bobcats. Offence, good. Salem, number 13, has been decent. In the third quarter, BUCS definitely found his range a little bit more. But it's going to be interesting, you know, as we've sort of said on the rundown, you know, the Southwest one, it seems as though, at least in our eyes, that the Southwest one really is a bit all Bournemouth-y. Let's not be around the bush. Basically, that's what we thought. And I'd say if you're looking at it from the perspective of Q1, that's a lie. We're lying to you. But I'd say as this game has sort of progressed, you can sort of see it. It's going to be interesting to see how they match up with Bristol. You know, I'm a bit worried about Swansea, if I'm completely honest. But from what I hear, passing on the pipeline, I would say definitely tune into one of our 2 Sunday fixtures, the Bristol Barracuda against the Southampton Stags. Pretty decent rivalry, but also you get to see these 2 teams. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the Barracuda bring to the table. As well as the Stags. I mean, the Stags did beat Swansea, but you know, losing 44-0 to the Bobcats. Again, it's a very, very interesting blend, is the Southwest one. But I'm interested to see what the Barracuda look like. So number 1, Haylock in at QB, Salem lining up behind him. Going back to a forefront of the Bath Killer Bees. Salem just breaking tackles, finding the outside lane, and he's going to scramble across to get back to the original line of scrimmage. I think potentially even more. No. 2nd and 9. Definitely things to work on for both teams. I'd say, can we just see, I think Bath versus Swansea could be a very, very interesting game. It's all quite interesting. Oh, and Salem just immediately, yeah, well not immediately, but handoff was pretty decent. And Salem just gets crushed by the D-line, who, to be fair, he's managed to have fairly decent penetration against. Oh, flag on the play, didn't spot it, that's what it was. Holding penalty on the Bobcats. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying this, to be fair, even if you're not enjoying it, like and subscribe. We've got some milestones we want to hit. We've been out here doing this for a minute. So, bunch trips on the right-hand side. Haylock still in at QB. And he makes them jump. Oh, flags are flying. Many. 2. But it seems to be that the Bobcats favour Haylock for things like this. But it is going to be the Bobcats getting another penalty. They're like doing smelling salts on the sideline. It's weird. I've never seen that before. That's weird. I've never seen that before. It's weird being down here and just like next to them. It's more so I know that they're just going out later, which is, you know, a weird one. And what a ball from Haylock. But Pope was just not in the area. Come on, Chris, think of a Pope joke. I just can't do it. You can't think, no, you can't think one either. So 3rd and 10 for Bournemouth. A lot of pretty decent games this week. Also Cardiff versus Birmingham happening tomorrow. Wish I could be there for it, but got to get a day job here. And Haylock, look at those arms pumping. And he finds a lane. Haylock has just got a first down for the Bobcats. I can't quite believe that. And he even fans down. Even fans down his shoes. Great celebration. Good thing the refs didn't see it. Obviously, the Killer Bees thinking that Haylock was going to be throwing that deep. But what a run. I've never seen, I'm just jealous of that running speed. I've never ever been able to run that fast in my life. My ligaments are tearing. So the Bobcats now find themselves on the Killer Bees side of the field. Haylock is looking, throws it medium. To Alfie Tizard-Adams. Looks as though Tizard-Adams was looking around for a flag, potentially a late hit. Wasn't there. Just wasn't there. But it's going to be a gain of 8 on the play for the Bobcats. So 2-minute warning here. I tell you what, that first half blitz through, mainly because they were running it a lot more, especially from the Bournemouth side of things. It's like the referees look like they're getting into an argument with each other over the line.
Hi, this is Steve. Everyone in the comments that keep saying personal things about Tebs, you're going to continue getting banned, all right? So it's not Tebs, it's me, and we won't stand for it. We do this for free. Stop fucking about.
Yeah, thanks, Swansea. Well done, guys. So, 1 yard to go to the first down for the Bobcats inside the 2-minute warning. Going to need a lot from Bath. And Haylock is looking deep. Oh! He's getting his press-ups done pretty early, because that is another spectacular ball that we haven't quite seen. Roberts, number 20, gonna be hating himself in the morning for that. Yeah, you can tell he's on the sideline, he's unhappy. Third and 1 for the Bobcats. Haylock has got a bit of a low snap, deals it out to his left, and a great ball from Pope. Well, great catch from Pope anyway. It's slightly getting colder here. Damn, I've just seen SJ's joke that he made that I'm not going to do that. And just flips it out to Salem. He's going to bring it in. So the flag's going to be waved off. This game looks like it's going to be going the way of the Bobcats, but a lot to clean up. 88 in motion for Bournemouth. Haylock's going to be rolling out. Looks to be taking himself, and he just tries to truck a man. I think he might be able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's going to be about it. Going to stay in bounds, so the clock is going to keep on ticking. I'll tell you what, after being here today, I definitely think that the Southwest one may not be as open as previous, might not be as locked up by Bournemouth as previously thought. There's some stuff for Bournemouth to work on. I still can't quite believe that first quarter from the Bobcats, not good, but also the amount of flags that have come the Bobcats' way today. But it looks like they're going to go home with a W today. Haylock is looking for a big ball, and he's found it, and Pope just finds the end zone. As this game reaches its conclusion, I feel like an absolute screamer of a ball has been sort of waiting. We've seen some attempts from Bournemouth to get one in, and they managed to get one there. One of the players for Bournemouth is like, well, wait until the fourth quarter to do it. Yeah, you're right, yeah. But spectacular nonetheless. I see Pereira in there. So it looks like Bobcats are going to be going for two. And BUCS is now back in. But what a ball that was from Bournemouth's number one. The sound of these playing. So, celebration, penalty, celebration, penalty. Happens. Yeah, but it was a good ball though. Can't deny that. So they're going to be going back for 10 yards. So the Bobcats trying to work something out here. Yeah, people. Again, I can understand why they've got it in there, but and the ball dribbles along the floor again. Don't think the Bobcats. And Alfie's just going to throw it into the back of the end zone. And it was close by Pope to bring it in, but just couldn't quite do it. So Bath are going to get the ball back with, I can't imagine much left on the clock. But been sort of impressive by Bournemouth, though. Again, it's very, very interesting. I think it's not as open as it was, is what I'm going to say. And I look forward to reporting back to the rundown with what this game was, because I can't imagine Jamie's watching this. So a bit of a squib there from Joe White. And the returner just swarmed there by the Bobcats. I was about to say by Bobcats. But again, I think the one thing, my big takeaway from today anyway, is just how impressive the defense of the Bobcats is, because again, Lewis Munt is a pretty tough man to stop, and they managed to get it away there. Oh, it's you actually, yeah. So I don't know, you can't leave now. So I'm here with number 30 in the Bobcats. Salem, you've had a great game. You've managed to really turn this game on its head, punching through that D-line. It seemed so effortless in the first half. What's your takeaways from this game?
All I say is thank my O-line and my coaches. But aside that, I think I'm the best running back in Div 1 at the moment.
That's strong. That's strong. That might be clipped. That might be clipped. That might be clipped. So it's still time for the Killer Bees. They love to actually put some points on the board. They've gone for that reverse. Third time we've seen it today. First time didn't work. That's some good yardage from Bath. We've seen some errors from Bath. And just like that, the Bournemouth Bobcats win Friday Night Lights against the Bath Killer Bees again. They improve to 2-0. The Bath Killer Bees fall to 0-2. Definitely, I think, a very, very defensive showcase. Number 13, Salem from the Bobcats, is getting my MVP, but you've got to shout out the defense of the Bobcats for an absolutely spectacular job. A lot to talk about, a lot to break down this game with. On Monday, when the rundown rears its head, we'll be talking about this one. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to Sport Tank over the weekend, as we have two games for you on Sunday, as the Southampton Stags host the Bristol Barracuda in our sort of anniversary-ish game. Doesn't really make too much sense. In the Southwest one. We're going to talk to Joe White quickly. Joe White, how was that game?
Yeah, it was good towards the end. We were slow getting going in the first half, but we picked up in the second. We didn't let them score in the second half, so that's great. Didn't concede on defense either, just on special teams. So, yeah, it's amazing. And, yeah, shout out to Gloucester, because they would have beat Bath Killer Bees in Div 2.
Okay, no, come back. One more question. What's it like to kick a field goal?
Unreal. Coach Pell, if you're listening, field goals, I can kick them.
Awful. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we were saying, Southampton versus Bristol, and then also in the Premiership, the SGS Pride heading to the Exeter Demons. They'll both be coming at you on Sunday. Final score here today, 23-6. Bournemouth, 23. Oh, sorry, not 6. I don't know where I'm getting 6 from. Don't get the start. No. Bournemouth, 23. Bath, 2. We'll see you on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen.